in order for them to court each other and get married. This is a site for those who want to get married. Not if you just want to date somebody. It's not that's not what we're all about. We're looking for people who will be perfectly fitted together. That is our goal. All right. So let me share with you let me share my screen with you for the PowerPoint, and then we will continue having this conversation. All right, so here it is. You can see that? I'm sure you can. Let's see, show video panel, just so I know I see myself. All right, so let's turn that into a slideshow. And start from the beginning. All right, so, perfect fit for singles is what we're calling it. Perfect fit for singles. Perfect fit for singles. And some of you are wondering, what does it even mean? That we actually have a book that Dr. Justin and I wrote. The book is called The Perfect Fit. Let me get that book. Hold on. All right. So this is the book. You can Google it. You can see it's called The Perfect Fit. It's got the perfect fit approach to finding your mate. The perfect fit approach to finding your mate. And so, what is this all about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Which is what we want to talk about. And I want you on your social media. I want you to put hashtag perfect fit for singles. Perfect fit for singles. Hashtag perfect fit for singles, so that people know what we're talking about. Hashtag perfect fit for singles 2020. You can even add 2020 on there. Hashtag perfect fit for singles. This is the book I was telling you about. That's a perfect fit book, but we're not selling a book here or anything. We're going to teach you some stuff today. But if you're interested in the book, let us know. This perfect fit for singles. People, it's been out for a while. All right. So what is the premise? Okay. The premise of perfect fit is that there is someone best suited for you. Okay. That is the premise. Our premise is that you shouldn't just marry anybody that you want just because you like them, just because you fell in love with them, just because, I don't know, your parents want you to get married, or because you're getting old, you're getting older and then you want to marry. No, a lot of marriages have ended in divorces, or in pains, or in struggles because they did that. So for me today, I want to take this and want you to know that the first thing we're asking you to not do is just not to marry somebody based on extrinsic factors, based on your emotions. Don't do that. Do not do that. So wait till you hear what this is all about. Wait till you hear what this is all about. So, are you with me? Let me hear it in the chat box if you're with me thus far. The first thing is, do not marry anybody just because of a list. Don't marry anybody right now just because you're getting older. Don't marry anyone because of any A, B, C, D until you've listened to what we have to say. Thank you. All right. All right. I can see those of you, telling me yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Now, one of the things I want you to know in this perfect fit is that there is somebody that is best suited for you. God, who made marriage, did not just make it so that everybody would, like a crapshoot. That is not it. That is not the way the maker of marriage did it. All right. The maker of marriage designed it. How do I know this? Because look at everything else around you. Everything else. The moon is perfectly designed. The stars are perfectly designed. The ocean is perfectly designed. The forests are perfectly designed. Everything around us is, even our human body is perfectly designed by God, right? So why would he not perfectly design marriage? So when Adam wanted to get married, what happened? God brought him a wife. Okay, brought him, God could have brought 5 women and said, Adam, choose one. But he brought him the one that was best suited for him. Okay. And so the perfect, the word perfect, the phrase perfect fit, we got that from the scripture that says all good and perfect gifts come from God. All good and perfect gifts. Now, what does that look like? A good gift is a gift that, that is satisfying, is a gift that is needed, is a gift that is wanted. Those are good gifts. But a perfect gift, the word perfect there means suitable. So somebody write that down so you don't forget it. It's the word suitable. The word perfect is the word suitable. So which means that there is it says that you good and perfect. So not only is the gift needed and wanted, but it is also a suitable gift. And I always give that example that if you gave a 2-year-old a Mercedes-Benz, it's a good gift, but it is not a suitable gift because that kid cannot drive it. So now there are women that are suitable for you men for maybe one season of your life. Women, and the same thing with women. There are husbands, there are men that are suitable for a season of your life. Okay? Do not marry forever somebody that is only supposed to be for a month or for just one season. Does that make sense? Do not make an eternal decision for somebody that's only supposed to be for a season. So you meet a girl or you meet a boy, a man or a woman, you meet them and you're hitting it off and things are going good. And you're like, I want to marry this girl. I want to marry this man because I get along with her and things like that. All of those things are good. But are you going to get along with her in 10 years time? Are you going to get along with this man in 20 years time? Because people change in season. Women change every 10 years. You're a different woman than you were 10 years ago. And then another 10 years is going to be different. So I cannot make a decision for my 70-year-old self based on just my feelings as a 20-year-old or 30-year-old. Does that make sense? Okay, so these are some of the things that we have to begin to wrestle with. And what is the premise of perfect fit? One of the other premises of perfect fit that we've looked at is the person that you're supposed to marry has to be someone who can accomplish purpose with you. Has to be somebody who can accomplish purpose with you. Purpose meaning that, give me one quick second. Purpose meaning that, what are you here to do? So the first thing I'm going to tell you, those of you that are here, is that do not begin to talk about marriage until you know why you're here. What is your purpose? What is your assignment? Because the person that's supposed to be in your life is supposed to help you along that journey of your assignment. So here it is. So there is a life for you that is a designer life for you. Okay. And on that path, or for you, that your path, there is your wife is on that path, your husband is on that path, your money is on that path, your people are on that path. It's a path for you. So you need to, but a lot of people just choose a different path and they begin to go on whatever path they want. They just choose anything and they go on that path. And then there's all these difficulties. You meet somebody that breaks your heart 20 million times, you're not happy at your job and you just don't know. That's not what we want. That's why people like me are reaching out to the younger generation of you guys, of most of you are the younger generation, and say, look, this is how you do this. This is how you walk this path. Okay, on your path of life, there's your life path. Your wife is on that path. Your husband is on that path. Do not choose another path that's not yours. Okay, so the first fundamental thing that needs to be done is that you need to find your purpose. You need to find your purpose. And your purpose in life is important. That's the first thing that needs to happen. You need to know what your purpose is. Because look, if you go find somebody, let's say your purpose, let's say you're a musician, for example, and your purpose is to make music and make people happy and whatever whatever that, however that looks like. And then you meet this girl, let's say that's a guy, your purpose is to be a musician. You want to make people sing songs across Africa, across the globe. This is your joy. This is what fuels your passion. And then you meet somebody who, is a really cute girl, and you just hit it off with her. And this person, this girl, okay, this girl this girl, let's say she is an accountant. She's an accountant, and she in her life, what she wants to do is stay in, let's say, just stay in Lagos or in Nigeria, or a village or whatever, and she wants to stay there to make a difference in that place. Okay. Now, when you fall in love with her and you do all of these things, you don't, and I'm going to talk about falling in love in a minute, and you don't see all of the differences. You don't see it. And you don't know what your purpose is. You're just floating along in life. But then later on, you find out that this is my purpose. Now you have married somebody who has a different purpose than yours. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to marry somebody who is doing the same thing, but you must be going in the same direction. So this girl now, two things have to happen. She has to neglect her purpose and follow yours, which will make her miserable, by the way, okay? Because you did not find out your purpose on time. But let's say you found out your purpose on time before you got married, and you had a conversation with your wife or your husband, and she's also maybe still an accountant, but you've had this conversation and she's willing to travel. She wants to go and see the world with you. She can do her job anywhere. You see the difference now? That's the difference. So your purpose is so fundamental to this. Purpose is so fundamental. So we believe that there's somebody who is indicated, selected, and appointed to come alongside you and together fulfill the purpose of the Creator for your life. They're supposed to add to your life. They're supposed to make your life better. If somebody is just taking and taking and taking, that is not your spouse. Your spouse is supposed to add value to your life. And you would know this even before you marry them. So somebody that's to add value, they have to move you forward. They have to be doing something that maybe you can do for yourself. They will do it. Okay. So I saw a conversation on the Telegram. I saw a conversation on the Telegram. Somebody saying, I don't want to help her. Help her is a bad word. I don't want to help her. And I'm going to talk about that because that is just ignorant talk. When you do not know what that means, it's just being ignorant of it, and that's not demeaning anybody. It just means you just don't know. When you're ignorant of something, you just don't know. Okay. So we'll talk about what a helper is. A helper is a powerful thing, which we'll talk about. I think I have a slide on that. Let me see. And if I don't, okay, yes, I do. So we're going to talk about helper today. What that looks like. Just keep your questions coming, or you can also chat in the chat box. So now, what is a fit? Okay, what does it mean to fit somebody? When we're saying, oh, a perfect fit, we're not talking about perfect people. There is nobody perfect. Even you yourself, you're not perfect. So there is impossible for you to think that somebody else is going to be perfect. There are no perfect people until we all die and go to heaven to be perfect. No, there are no perfect people. When we're talking about a fit, though, it means somebody who can match you. Okay. Somebody who is going the same. It's like a key and a lock. The key and a lock. The lock is imperfect. The key is imperfect, but it has the potential, the power to unlock something. All right. So fit means to prepare, to make fit, and to be ready to become. So before you can call yourself a perfect fit, You have to become a fit. Does that make sense? You have to become a fit. I saw a lot of, and I told you guys to write your list, and a lot of this list, I saw them, you know, uh, just people wanting a lot of good things. That's all well and good, but are you that good thing too? Are you a perfect fit? Because you can't say I want this person who is gorgeous, who has a good spirit, who is humble, who is peaceful, who is all of these things, and then you are can't, you know, you just are always conflicted. You're filled with fear. You're filled with all of these things, and you cannot be that person and then want somebody that is so good and so you know, so what is the word I'm looking for? Uh, just who has taken control of their life. You know, that's not fair to that person for them to be stuck with you if they have done the work in their life and then you come and you know you haven't done anything with your life. So to a fit is so you have to make yourself ready. You have to be prepared. We have to take this marriage thing as seriously as you people go to universities, they go they spend years in education to get ready for a job. You know, do you see how long we all spend in education? You go to elementary school. Okay, those of you in Nigeria, you go to the JSS, I think, J junior, whatever, and then you go to the. You can help me with that. You go to all of this, or you go to all of the stages. Over here, we call it there's elementary school, there's middle school, there's secondary school, and then we have, and then you go to universities and people from university for your bachelor's, then you go to your master's program, all because you want to get a good job and have a build a career. So you're spending 15, 16, 20 years in school to get a career. Yet we're not spending time building ourselves so we can get a good marriage, which is the one thing that would determine the quality of your life. Did you know that a good marriage can determine how long you live? It can determine how wealthy you are. It can determine your mental health. It can determine a lot of things. So why not invest time into that? So to affect is to prepare yourself, to make yourself fit, to be ready to become who you're supposed to become. Be ready to become that person. Be ready to become that person who will attract the best from this universe. Okay. So a purpose-driven choice is your perfect fit. Your purpose-driven choice is your perfect fit. So remember, I told you, you have a journey. Everybody has a journey in life. There was a blueprint for your life. You're not just making it up as you go. Everybody has a destination. Everybody has one. So you need to find out what yours is. You need to find that out. What is my destination? Where am I going? Answer that question first. Okay. Answer that question first. Once you have decided where you're going and you're facing the direction you're going, you don't have to struggle. Your perfect fit will be on that path. It will be in that path for you. Okay. So the word perfect, I've talked to you about that, means suitable for you for all stages of your life. Suitable for you for all stages. You want to marry somebody that'll be there in the rainy season and in the dry seasons. You want to be somebody that will be there in the summer as well as in the winter. That is the person you want. That'll be there in the spring of your life. I'll be there in the fall of your life. You want to be with somebody that you can grow old with. That's the person you want, and that will not give you that will not give you hypertension. That will not give you that will not reduce the quality of your life. Some people, you will marry them and they will reduce the quality of your life. That's not what you want. Okay. Now, what has culture to do with this? There's a lot of things about culture. You know, in our culture, in the Nigerian culture, for example, you know, people, we don't really have arranged marriages as much, but once you get to a certain age, people want you to get married. They want you to get married to somebody from your own area. They want you to marry this particular somebody who has a, maybe they want you to marry somebody who has a lot of money. They want you to marry, come on, let me tell you something. You want to marry somebody that you're going to grow with. Girls, listen to me. Ladies, listen to me. Okay, looking for this man who can, pay for your school and, will bring you into their houses and do all of those things. That is not life. That is not this program. That is the wrong program. This is not this program. What this perfect fit program is that you will be with somebody that you will develop into that glorious human beings that you're supposed to be. You will have all of the resources that you need at your disposal because both of you are going to make it together. That's what you want. When you marry somebody who has already done their thing and they're just bringing you in, then they can treat you anyhow. They can treat you anyhow because you weren't there when they made their money. You weren't there. You're not really even a wife. You're just glorified, whatever you want to call it. That's not what you want. You want to look for somebody who is going in the same direction as you, who is your friend, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so the perfect fit is not the perfect person. The perfect fit is not the perfect person. Like I said, nobody's perfect. You just fit. See the puzzle? You just fit. It's not the perfect person. But is the ideal person, okay? Is the best person for you. So you're going to look at things like what is their purpose in life? Where are they going? What is their direction? What is their belief in God? How are you going to raise children together? What is their communication skills? Okay, how do they manage money? All of these things are very important. What kind of home do they come from? What kind of family do they come from? These things are important, okay, for you to know. So there's a lot. Who is this ideal person for you? Who is moving in your direction now? You've heard people say opposites attract, and that's scientific. Okay, opposite to attract. When you opposite attract, opposites are magnets. Opposite attract. They're magnets. They move towards each other. Two opposites. Okay, so when you meet somebody that is very different from you, you are going to automatically be attracted to them. It's a magnet. It's a life principle. You come together with somebody who really doesn't, is so different from you. But when you're falling in love, the thing about falling in love is that you are not in your right mind. Falling in love is just hormones. That's all it is. It turns off your cognitive brain, and all you can think of is all you can reason with is your emotional brain. Okay, so when you're falling in love, you're literally losing your mind. That's why it's not sustainable. Because if you stayed in that falling in love state, you will go mad. So your brain has to shut it off. Because when you're in love with somebody, remember, when you're in love with somebody, you're like on the phone 24 hours a day, you can't sleep, you're thinking about them, your heart is palpitating, so many things are happening to you. You just don't know. You're just in the throes of love. You're so in the throes of love. Okay, that's not really love, actually. It's basically infatuation. But let's just say falling in love for the purposes of today. So you're falling in love with that person, okay, means that you cannot rationally see that person because your cognitive mind is disengaged. So you can't see their faults. You can't see them really. You're just falling for your brain has hijacked your senses. which is why in the Perfect Fit program, one of the things we tell people is do not propose to somebody just because you fell in love with them. That is not a criteria. It's not the criteria. It can be a, but it's not the. Okay, because what happens because opposites attract. So when you meet somebody who is different from you, there's a tendency to pull you together. You will be pulled together, and you will fall in love with them. Okay, but once the hormones wear off, you will now begin to see them the way they are. Oh my God, I cannot believe I married this person. Okay, you now see. So the one thing we want to teach you in Perfect Fit is that that's not what you want. You don't want opposites. They don't make for good, satisfying marriages. You want similar but different. Similar but different. Similar but different. You want somebody that you have a lot of things in common with, but still different people. You want a lot more things in common than you have not in common. So similar but different, not opposites. Similar but different, not opposites. Are you with me? Okay. So the perfect fit is the couple. The couple, they fit. All right. And when you have a good fit, what you have is minimum maintenance and maximum impact. You don't have to work so hard. Maintaining the relationship, constantly maintaining the relationship. If you're constantly maintaining that relationship, you're working too hard. Minimum maintenance, maximum impact. Minimum maintenance, maximum impact. Okay? Minimum maintenance. That's why you want to do the work initially, so that when you get to the impact of the joy of coming together, it will be maximum. You don't want to constantly be struggling in the relationship and fighting in the marriage and they're trying to fit. No, do that work before you get married. Do that work first. So remember what I told you. You don't want polar opposites. Opposites attract. That you will be pulled together. Resist that. You want somebody who is similar but different. Similar but different. You have more in common than you have differences. More in common than you have differences. Does that make sense? So we're going to, remember I told you about the word helper that somebody was talking about in one of our, and I'm seeing your questions. Why did you not mention my name while you were welcoming? Joy said, why didn't you mention my name? Joy, I'm sorry, Joy. I kind of must have skipped it. So you're welcome. I see you. All right, Joy. Okay. So I will get to the other questions later. And I hope somebody's helping me just with this, monitoring these questions. All right, so let's move on. So Joy, Joy, you're recognized. That is not something that was intentional. All right, so let's, remember when I told you about the word helper? The word helper, when somebody said, one of you guys on Telegram said that, you know, that they don't like the word helper, that I don't want to be a help. I'm nobody's maid. I don't want to do that. Well, okay, so that's why I said, because maybe you didn't understand the meaning of the word. Okay, so the word helper is the word in Hebrew as ezer. Ezer, E-Z-E-R. The word ezer is the same, is the word helper. When Adam was like Eve was a helpmate for Adam. It's the word helper. And that word means to nurture. That word is invite, and it's a partner. That word helper is the same word that's used for God when it says, God is my help. You know, a very present help in time of trouble is the same word helper. So let me explain it to you what a helper is. So in the old days, okay, in when they would cut covenants, in the days when they would cut covenants, there will be two tribes that would come together. Maybe one is a warring tribe and one is a farming tribe. Okay, so the farmers didn't really have warriors, and the warriors didn't have farmers. So the two tribes will cut covenants. Okay, and basically when they cut covenant, they become one. They become one. And so the one with the farming community will have the warring community as their Azer, and the warring community will have the farming community as their Azer. Okay, they come to help, they come to complete. Both of them are fabulous in their own right. A farming community, if we don't farm, we're all going to die in this community. And then you have the warring community that said, if we don't protect our community, we're all going to die. We won't even be able to eat. So in their own individual spaces, they are awesome. Okay, they are fantastic in their own. Okay, so but when they come together, they become Azer to each other, and they complete each other, because whatever one doesn't have, the other one brings it. That's the word helper. The person you need is a completer, is somebody that has what you need. Your Azer is a packaged person. It's not some like maid coming to clean your house and all of that. Look, if that's all you're looking for in a wife, just get a maid. Okay, that is not all a wife is about. You want somebody who, if you're looking for a woman in your life, you want somebody who is packaged with assets. They're bringing assets into this union. And if you're looking for a man who is just going to throw money at you, that's not Asa. You want to find a man that is going to make you a better person. You know, someone that's going to make you a better person. Someone that's going to come in and complete you. Does that make sense? Someone who is going to come in and complete. It's a completer. It's a nurturer, a partner. That's who you want. So your helper, the man needs a helper, the woman needs a helper. So when you're talking about helper, your helpmate, when you're talking about that woman coming, it's not just somebody that is just going to come. No. Let's not get that twisted. You want somebody that is coming with some assets. Assets. When this woman gets into your life, they can turn on lights that you didn't even know were there. And when that man gets into your life, he begins to turn on, rearrange furniture that then you didn't even know was that you had. That's who you want. You want a helper. You want a partner. You want somebody that would help you become, somebody that would help you become who you were birthed to become. Somebody that is not going to sit on your destiny. Somebody that is not going to dim your shine. Somebody that's going to allow you to be who you were supposed to be. That's who you want. So yes, you do want a helper, but you just have to change your definition of helper. Helper is not some helpless person. Helper is somebody coming with stuff. In fact, when armies went to war, okay, and if they were getting depleted, You know, maybe a lot of them are getting killed or died in battle, and the army is getting depleted, and you know, they're just exhausted. The home country sends another army, another Azer. They send an Azer to them. That is another group of soldiers who are vibrant, who have not, you know, who are coming with all the stuff that is needed for them to win the war. That's how you look at Azer. You're looking for the people that are going to come into your life and refresh you and restore you and pick you up. That's who you want. And that's who you have to be. So not just who you want, it has to be who you want to be. So you have to be somebody that has assets. Assets. And when we're talking about assets now, it's not, we're not just talking money. In fact, money is, that's not it. You want somebody who is coming with assets, somebody who knows what they're going to do in their life, somebody who is kind, somebody who is compassionate, somebody who has wisdom. So, you know, you're looking for somebody who is going in the right direction. So they're bringing those assets into your life. They're bringing those assets into your life. They can call some things out of you that you didn't even know was there. When you're with them, you want to work harder. When you're with them, you want to be the best of yourself. Not the woman that you'll be in your house that is just cussing you out all the time, that doesn't want to be with you, the one that, or the man that's constantly throwing you, you know, bringing other women, having other girlfriends. And no, you don't have to settle for those things, which is one of the reasons I'm doing this. You don't have to settle for those things. You don't have to be that couple. You know, the one thing I hear about young people say right now is, well, you know, you just marry him and he's still going to have his girlfriend anyway. He's still going to have this. That is not, you don't have to do that. When you find your perfect fit, you don't need all these other people because you become fitted together. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. So we understand what perfect fit is about now. Okay. We're understanding this. It's important. So when you talk of helper, you know who you're looking for. You know who you're looking for, but not just who you're looking for. You become a helper. You become that person that is going to be a good fit. You become that person that is going to come in with assets. You become that person that is marriageable. Marriageable. The man is marriageable. The woman is marriageable. You become that person. That's a promise to yourself. Here's the triangle for perfect fit. Here's what it looks like. Okay. What happens is in a triangle, God is the base. Your purpose, where God is also your purpose, is because God is the one who gives you your destiny. Okay. And then we have the two people. What happens when you're not perfectly fitted is nothing will stay connected. Nothing will stay connected. You would have a gap. Where you're supposed to meet, there will be a gap. And what happens when there's a gap? All kinds of things will fall into it. You know, affairs, all kinds of things will fall in when you're not perfectly fitted. So we want you to be perfectly fitted. Are you with me? Okay. The wrong selection. Listen to me today. The wrong selection. Marriage is too important for you to just go on a shelf of relationship and pick somebody. The divorce rate in South Africa is now about 75%. In Nigeria doesn't keep data, so we don't know what their divorce rate is. Over here in the United States, people are just not getting, they're just not they're just not even, they're just skipping the whole thing. We have over 170 million singles in the United States. And people are just trying to shack up and do whatever they want. People they don't want to get married, they don't want to invest in it anymore. Why? Because people have selected wrongly, become miserable, and then people have a bad impression about marriage. Okay? That is why we're investing in this. That the selection, they did a study of people who are have long marriages, people that have been married for over 15 years. They did a study on them, and they said, and they asked them, what has kept you guys together for 50 years? They asked them, and overwhelmingly, the number one reason most of them gave, the number one reason the majority of them gave is that they chose the right person. That's the one reason. Choosing the right person. Choosing the right person is your number one ingredient of a successful marriage. Not that you're not going to have issues, but remember what I said about maximum impact. With just minimum input, get maximum impact. The right person. If there's a right person, it means that there's a wrong person. Okay? If there's a right person, it means that there's a wrong selection. Now, the selection. Now, look. Let me even rephrase that, because people inherently themselves are not wrong. There's just a wrong selection. The fact that you're miserable with one person doesn't mean that person is not going to be happy with somebody else. So it's too important for us to just go and pick somebody because they're 6'1", they're tall, dark, and handsome. They have a good head of hair on their head. They're buff, they have a good job, and I'm just gonna pick that person. Look, all of you have a list. That you gave me that list on the Telegram or on WhatsApp. You made that list based on what you know now, or based on what you like now. Today, you made that list based on what you like today, or whenever you made the list. I guarantee you, in another decade, that list will change. Which is why you can't just marry somebody on a list that you created. You just, because that list is going to change. What matters to you today, that's important, trust me, I've lived on this earth a while. That list in your 20s will not be the same list in your 30s, or your 40s, or your 50s. That list will change. But now you're stuck with the list that you made in your 20-year-old self. And now you're 50 years old, 60 years old, thinking, oh my God. So selecting a mate is a hallowed endeavor. That number one, you have to pursue it prayerfully. Remember I told you how we spend about 18, 20 years developing ourselves to find a job, but we can't even devote a few minutes to come and listen to a lecture like this on Perfect Fit. Do you know how many people we have registered for this program, and how many people have on what do we call it, on the Telegram? but haven't taken the time to come listen to this. Because people don't want to invest in it. You have to invest in this kind of things. Prayerfully, earnestly, get mentoring. If you yourself are messed up and struggling with all kinds of issues, get help for yourself. If you have been traumatized in any way, if you've been raped in any way, it's going to impact your marriage. It's going to impact your sex life. If you've been abused in any ways, it's going to impact the way you select somebody. If you've had all kinds of issues, if you have an addiction, it's going to all of these things. If you're suffering through something, somebody has broken your heart too many times, and I'm going to talk about that. It impacts your selection. If you're traumatized, it impacts your selection. So you have to, first of all, get well, be healthy, so that you can make the right selection. Those of you raising your hands, do you have a question? Because I see it says 2 hands raised. Do you have a question? Please type in your questions in the question and answer. Type in your question, the question and answer, and we'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right. So it is important for you to understand the things that we've just said. Prayerfully, earnestly, take care of yourself. Make sure that you are fine, you're doing well. Stay in this program and finish it. There's a Perfect Fit program. Join the Facebook closed group, and I will walk you guys through it. All of the things I've said here today, with step by step, we're going to take it and break it down. It is important not to choose a partner until you know your purpose. Like I've said that so many times today. So purpose is vital. If you don't know, one of the things that we're going to talk on in the Facebook group is how to find your purpose. How to find it. We're going to talk about that. How do you find your purpose? Who are you attracting? You look at the people that you're attracting. Okay? If you don't like the people that you're attracting, you need to up your level. If you do not like the people that you're attracting, you need to change your level. The people that you're attracting are the people that you are. Okay? So if you're attracting this low level people who never commit and all of that, that's a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on them. You will only attract to yourself your level of what we call differentiation, your level of wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, mental wellness. That's the level you're going to attract to yourself. So, and that has nothing to do with how you look. You can have somebody who looks good, who looks great, who is doing well, and their emotional level is like maybe a 5 out of a 10. They will attract those same people into their lives. And then when they come, you're like, well, but that's not what I want. I want somebody who is emotionally matured. I want somebody who is this. I want somebody who is that. But the people you're attracting is who you are. So if you don't like the people you're attracting, then develop yourself. Low level energy people will attract low level energy people. Okay? High level energy people will attract high level. That's just the way it is. That's who you bring into your life. So what we want to do is ensure that we work on ourselves. The more you are of yourself, when you are living from the best of yourself and not the worst of yourself, then you are at a good place. Be the best person. And part of the book, there's a section, there's a section in the book that we actually talk about all of these things. Get the book. We talk about how do you attract, what are the steps? We talk about how you make decisions. We talk about all of those things. How does this work for you? Who are you attracting? Look at what you're attracting. Look at what you're attracting. So many things. Everything is all messed up lately. We have all kinds of marriages, all kinds of, there's open marriages now where people can get married. Spouses have other partners, all kinds of rubbish. All kinds of things are going on where people are trying to fulfill, people are just trying to make things work. But if you go on this perfect fit journey with us, you will find the one for you. You will find the one for you. Okay? So who are you attracting? You don't want to have a shadow marriage. In the book, we talk about shadow marriages. That is if you're married, but it's just a shadow of what it is. So my daughter was like about eight years old. My niece was about, I don't know how old she was. She was young. She was about 4 years old. And my daughter, I think she was like 10. I don't know. But anyway, one was a teenager and one was a little kid. And they were in the car with me. And my niece was munching on something. I think she had candy or something. And so my niece, she's a little kid just enjoying her candy. She was like, yummy, just awesome. This is awesome. And then my daughter says, no, Layo, it's not awesome. That's it. So I told her, I was like, leave the girl alone. If she says the candy is awesome, then it's fine, And my daughter looks at me and she says, Mom, it can be awesome. So I said, why not? Why can't? She said, it's candy. It doesn't have the in it. I was like, oh my God, that is a word right there. It doesn't have the in it. It's just candy, and she said that, and this perfect fit, it just made so much sense with perfect fit for me. You can have the marriage and it doesn't have the in it. You need the perfect fit marriage should have it should be, there's awesomeness in it. It doesn't have the in it. So people have shadow marriages where it doesn't even look remotely close to the joy and the fulfillment that it's supposed to have. And one of the reasons being who you selected. So we have to be very careful in our selection processes. Okay. The ultimate plan is that you find somebody that you're knitted to. Okay. And all of this stuff about submitting and honoring, all of that will not even be a struggle because you're with the person that you can give your life to. Okay. So who are you attracting? So begin to practice a few things. Begin to practice, how know yourself. First talk we talked about, finding your own purpose. Find your purpose. Find your purpose. Find your purpose. What's your natural inclinations? What is it that you want to do in life? Find your purpose. And we'll do a whole video on how to find your purpose later on. We want to do that. We want to make sure that you find your purpose, but then also want to begin to practice how to make decisions. How to make decisions. Don't just start with marriage as your first big decisions. You have to learn how to make decisions. Okay. The two things you should know. Well, three things. One is, I call it the traffic light model. Okay. Number one, the red light. The red light is flashing. It says red, right? What do? You stop. So anytime there's a red light in your mind, do nothing. That is no-go area. And then if there's a green light, we all know you go, you can proceed, right? Where the problem is the orange light or the amber light. That's where the problem is, because people think amber light means rush and go before it turns red, right? No, amber light, you must treat the amber light like you must treat it like the red light. You treat the amber light like the red light. Don't make a decision. Don't make a decision on an amber light. Do not make life decisions until there's a green light in your spirit, in your mind. The problem is, if your mind is messed up, you wouldn't know how to do that. So you have to go through emotional wellness so that you can trust what's coming out of you. Okay. And so, who are you attracting? We'll talk about that. We're talking about who are you attracting, and so you want to attract the right person. Make sure that you're doing the things that I've just asked you to do. You become that person. You become that person that is developing themselves. Become the person that's developing themselves. Develop your character. Develop your character. Walk in love. Walk in love. Let love be that determines your life. Walk in light. Don't be this woman or this man that is lazy, is not hardworking. Make sure that you're hardworking. Do it with your everything with diligence. Don't be the one that's gossiping all around. Okay? Develop your character. If you want look, there are good men out there and there are good women out there. Okay, you be a good one and you would attract a good one. All right. What is your joy level? Are you constantly depressed or anxious and your joy levels are low? Then we need to change that. We need to get to the point where you can enjoy life. Okay. Are you constantly troubled? Anxiety, no peace around you. You're the one that, like, you're whirlwind. Everywhere you are, there's something. There's always a whirlwind around you. There's always issues. Well, you need to work on that so that you can be this person who can calmly discern what's going on. Know who you are. Get help. That's what we're doing here. Trying to help you. Trying to help you. Are you patient? Are you constantly, everything must happen now? You see, that's why some women, some ladies mess up, because you don't want to work with a guy to get the money so that you can actually build a future. So you then want to find somebody who's already made it, who has no respect for you. You might even be wife number 2 or 3. Or some people even want to be the mistress, just because you don't understand what patience is and long suffering is. That this whole journey with your partner is so you can build life together. You can build life together. Start practicing that now. Helping somebody do something. Start, empowering yourself. Empowering yourself. Okay. Are you kind? Kind people are people that we want in a marriage. Don't marry somebody who isn't kind. Look, watch how a woman treats other people. Watch how the woman or the man treats other people. Watch how she treats the maid. Watch how when she goes to the store, watch how she talks to people. Watch how he treats the people. How does he treat the drivers? How does he treat people around him? How does he talk to people? If they're not kind, you don't want them in your life. Are they kind to their parents? Are they kind to people around them? You want someone who is kind. So if you're not kind, start developing that. That's who you want. Someone who is kind. I always say that one thing, if I wanted to choose one thing, one quality of someone that you want to be with. Kindness ranks up there after purpose. Kindness. Somebody who, if you're ill, will take care of you. Somebody who, will think of you. They have you in their mind and want to make your life easier. Somebody who constantly adds value. You have to, you want to be the person who you leave someplace better than you met it. Leave a place better than you met it. If somebody comes into your life, are you taking from them or you adding to them? These are all of the things that are important. If you live in a house for some time and then you leave and nobody misses you, it's because you haven't added value. You learn to add value to anywhere you go. Even you go to a restroom, a toilet or whatever, and maybe you saw water on the sink and you wiped it. That's adding value. You have to learn to add value anywhere you go. You're living in a place and everywhere is dirty. The outside of the house is dirty. There's trash anywhere, and you go in and out of that house. Add value. Go help them pick it up. That's adding value. Plant some flowers. Do something that adds value. You go to work, somebody's job, thing you're just there collecting a paycheck, and you say, well, I'm just going to do my work and leave. No, add value. Even at work, let them know that you have done extra. Add value. In life, if you're not adding value, you're just taking up space. You have to add value. And you want someone in your life who is adding value. You don't want somebody who is constantly taking and taking and taking from you. Does that make sense? Someone who is faithful, who is committed. How do you know somebody is committed? Because they would show and they would demonstrate it in the things that they devote their time to. Someone who cannot keep a job. They always from one job to the other, from one job to the other. Or somebody who's had multiple girlfriends over in a year, they've already dated 5-6 person. That's not the person you want. That's not the person you want. Look at their record of faithfulness, their record of commitment. You have to look at that. So if they are not giving you if they don't have a good record, that's not, you better run. Someone who is gentle with you, gentleness. Someone who has self-control. It's not the girlfriend that says, oh, you have to buy me this, and you have to buy me that, and you have to buy me that. No, that's not what you want. That's not who you want. Someone who keeps saying, every time you go somewhere, you must spend your whole paycheck on them. That's not who you want. You want someone that's going to help you gather, not scatter. Gather, not scatter. Somebody who has self-control. Somebody who can manage themselves. And so if those are the things that you want in somebody, you also have to become those things. Does that make sense? You also have to become those things so that you can attract them to you. You also have to become those things. Okay, let me bring this to a close. I've talked about purpose. Sex. I want to talk about this because a lot of people have sex before marriage. Look, I'll talk to women first, and then I'll talk to men. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing you need to know. Okay, there's a hormone known as oxytocin. 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 Okay. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It allows you to bond with somebody. Okay. So that that hormone is secreted when a mother is nursing her child. Okay, bonding hormone. There's oxytocin. Oxytocin happens when you're having sex. Okay, there's bonding. Okay, and then of course, sometimes when you hug people, when you're kissing somebody, oxytocin is being secreted. The problem is women secrete or produce oxytocin more than men. A woman will produce oxytocin in, they hug you, they produce oxytocin. They have sex, they're producing oxytocin. They're nursing their baby, they're producing oxytocin. So there's bond. A woman can produce oxytocin gazillion times. The problem is the man doesn't produce it that way. The man produces oxytocin when they are ready to commit. So when they decide that you are the object of their affection, they would produce the oxytocin in your direction. And not only, so the other thing about oxytocin is it's also the hormone that allows you to be generous. Okay? Oxytocin, once you've bonded to that person, you're generous. You can spend your money on them. You can buy them stuff. You're thinking about them. You want to do all of those things. So the woman, when she's at oxytocin she's had sex with John. She's had sex with John. She's already produced oxytocin because it's very rare for a woman to have sex and not produce oxytocin unless she's been raped. So there's oxytocin produced with John, right? All right. So now she goes and she buys in things and she's spending money on John and she's doing all of this stuff with John. But John did not produce any oxytocin because that's not the woman he wants to marry. It's just sex for him. Are you seeing what I'm saying now? So now Mary is thinking, wait, how come John is not calling me back? How come John is not reacting the way? Because he's not bonded to you, but you're bonded to him. So now John breaks up with you. Then you go to Uche. So Uche is the next man. You go to Uche, you have sex with Uche. You bond with Uche. Again, Uche is still not bonded with you. Are you seeing what I'm talking about? Now your heart is broken with John. Your heart is broken with Uche. Then you go to Maxwell. And then you get to Maxwell. You have sex with Maxwell because you're trying to get love. You're trying to get love. So by the time, let's say now you now find the person, you now come to Yemi, and Yemi now loves you, and Yemi bonds with you and produces oxytocin towards you. Okay? Your challenge now is you left part of your heart with John, you've left part of your heart with Uche, you've held part of your heart with Maxwell. Now, Yemi is only going to get, if he gets even that, maybe 60% of your heart because you're done. Leave 40% with somebody else. Are you tracking with me? So it is important for you to know that having sex with a man doesn't mean that man is going to marry you. Having sex with a man does not mean that man is going to marry you. Do not equate sex with commitment. You just set yourself to be hurt. Get the commitment first. And if you are on this program, if you stay with me on this program, we are going to have perfect fit marriages. People that are not going to pressure you into sex. People that are the best of themselves, tracking well, that are attracting each other. And we're going to have those marriages on this program. Okay? Sex is beautiful. But wait till you're perfectly fitted. Make a commitment to do that. And don't believe the lie that there's no man out there. Don't believe the lie that there's no women out there. No, that's a lie. There is somebody for you. I guarantee you there's somebody for you. If you do the things that we're asking you to do, you will attract. Look, we've been doing this for a while. Okay, we have marriages. Olayemi, are you there? Do we have the promo, the videos of the testimonials? Do we have them? Olayemi?
We have them. We have them ready.
Okay, so when I'm finished talking, I want you to play those testimonials so they can see before I answer the questions.
No problem.
Okay, okay, right now, actually, you can do it now. I'm going to stop talking right now so that Olayemi can do the promo, and then we'll take questions. Not this one, I'm talking about.
My name is Vanessa Uriafe. I've had both Dr. Marino and Dr. Johnson as my mentors for several years. When I first heard about the Perfect Fit message, the words that kept ringing in my mind were the selected, indicated, and appointed. I decided to be receptive to this message because I wanted so badly for my life to move on to the next level. I wanted to take a chance that if I put my trust into this concept that was bigger than me, bigger than my way of thinking, my way of feeling, that I'd be led to the right place in my life where I could finally be brought to that person for me. So I continually prayed that God would prepare me to receive that guy and prepare that guy to receive me. And when he came my way, I knew there was something significant in how everything was playing out. And now we're coming up on 2 years married. The amazing thing is that not only was he selected, indicated, and appointed for me, but I was selected, indicated, and appointed for him. Out of all destiny, you are that specific person, that special answer that someone is seeking. That's a life-changing mindset. So I encourage you to be receptive. Keep this message in your mind, your heart, and your spirit, and know that if it's perfect for you, you won't have to toil to get it because it will naturally make its way to you.
The Perfect Initiative is about finding the person who has been placed on earth specifically for you. Me personally, I used the Perfect Initiative when I was building my relationship with my perfect fit. And I'm happy to say, we're married with a beautiful daughter, and we continue to use the tools that we learned in the Perfect Initiative to build our relationship and cultivate the values that we want to carry forward in our home and in generations to come.
A Perfect Fit Testimony by Toma, Appalaya. I heard about the perfect fit for the first time at church. I was newly engaged to my now husband and was excited to marry the man I loved and to live happily ever after. All my life, I had viewed marriage as a rite of passage. We are supposed to graduate college, meet and fall in love with our mate, get married, have children, and grow old together. However, I learned from the Perfect Fit that marriage is much bigger than a rite of passage or falling in love. Marriage is about purpose and working with your partner to fulfill your purpose. In the first year of our marriage, my husband and I created a list of things we would love to accomplish as a unit. Every anniversary, we revisit that list to see what we have accomplished. Some years we've added to the list, and one year we even took a goal off the list because we realized it was a shallow goal. On those days when I am upset and unhappy with my husband, yes, that happens in marriage. I remember our purpose as a unit and generations tied to our purpose. My husband and I have been married for 4.5 years now and have been blessed with a beautiful son. I am excited to see what God has in store for my purpose partner and me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Olayemi. Is being paid there? Do
Yes,
we have
I
a
am.
link? Do we have a link that we want to share now? Okay,
Yeah,
go
okay.
ahead. Go ahead. Okay, while Bingpe is looking for the link, I will go to your question. Let me see your questions.
Okay, so the link has been shared. The link has been shared to the chat group. Is the link to register for the program. So once you register for the program, an email with the schedule will be sent to you, and subsequent information about the program will be sent to you. It's an ongoing, hands-on program, like Dr. Marino has said. So registering for that program would also give you the link to the private Facebook group. That is where all the teachings and the coaching, that is where it's going to be happening. So if you want to be a part of the Perfect Fit program, click on the link, go register, and join the private Facebook group. Thank you.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Vims. Yeah, make sure you do that, and then we'll see you on we'll see you on in the closed group. All right, so Vims, are there? You want to ask the questions? How are we doing this? So we can start with a question and answer. Okay, I think maybe we lost her. All right.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry, that was network. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So I'm taking the first one. Okay, if two people are helpers on purpose, will it be appropriate to go ahead to date and target marriage?
Yeah, if you can get your purpose together, okay. Basically, I don't know what you mean by on target for purpose, but I think what you meant is you're going in the same direction. If that's the case, and you have also met the other criteria that we've talked about. Remember, we've talked about a lot of things here today. We've talked about you becoming the person that you want to be. If you're that person, okay, then you might be ready to go. Yes, you might be ready after you've met all the criteria that we've talked about prayerfully.
Okay, so the second question goes, how do I get healed because I've been hurt, right? It is difficult for me to love. How do I get healed?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking that question. And that's why that link that we've shared with you is important. We are going to there's a program that we've put together for that, for healing. And the first module, we're doing it for the first module for free. So make sure that you sign up for it, and we would walk you through it. And I'm glad that you asking that question. It is a process. We'll walk you through. And hopefully at the end of that, you find some healing for yourself, because what we don't want you to do is to make a trauma response when you're picking a spouse. We don't want you to make a trauma response. And sometimes when you've been hurt, the way you pick a spouse is it's a trauma response. You want to pick somebody who will, in fact, there's something called trauma bonding, that you literally pick somebody else who was also been traumatized like you, and you guys bond over that, so we don't want that. So sign up for that, and we would help you. Okay.
Okay, thank you so very much, Dr. Marino. That's really good. The first model that you're talking about, it's actually called emotional wellness and restoration, emotional healing and restoration. So guys, hop on the link and register. The next question says, what happens when you get to meet a new partner, but at the end of everything, the person will walk away without any tangible reason?
Yeah. Look. That's we're not even going to focus on those people who walked away, where they walked away. You're here now.